They called her a witch, feared her, avoided her, but the truth? She was the only one protecting them. In a quiet village surrounded by dry fields and dusty roads, there lived an old woman. She lived alone, at the edge of the village, in a small worn hut. No one visited her, no one spoke to her, because everyone believed one thing: she was a witch. Children ran when they saw her. Mothers pulled their kids away. Men whispered her name like it carried danger. In the marketplace, people avoided her. If she walked by, the crowd would part. And at night, around the fire, villagers told stories about her, stories of strange rituals, dark powers, and curses. But no one really knew the truth. Every night, when the village fell asleep, the old woman stayed awake. Inside her small hut, she worked quietly, grinding herbs, mixing roots, watching the sky. Her eyes were not evil, they were watchful, because she knew something the villagers did not. Danger was coming. One evening, the sky began to change. Dark clouds rolled in.
The wind grew stronger. The air became heavy. Villagers looked up in fear. Then suddenly, the storm came. Rain poured down violently. Winds tore through the village. Trees bent and cracked. People ran in panic. Children screamed. Homes shook. And in the middle of it all, the old woman stepped outside. She looked at the sky, not with fear, but with determination. But the villagers didn't understand. Instead, they blamed her. She caused this. They shouted. Angry voices filled the storm. People grabbed sticks, lit torches, and marched toward her hut. They surrounded her, shouting, pointing, accusing. The old woman stood still, calm, but with pain in her eyes, because, even now, they still didn't see the truth. As the storm grew stronger, she raised her hands and began her ritual, not to harm them, but to protect them. The wind roared louder. Lightning flashed across the sky. But slowly, something changed. The storm began to weaken. The rain softened. The clouds started to break. And then, silence. The storm was gone. The villagers stood there, frozen, confused, ashamed. They looked at the old woman, and for the first time, they understood. She wasn't the danger. She was the protection. All those nights, all those rituals, all that silence, she had been guarding them, while they feared her. The old woman said nothing. She simply turned and walked back to her hut, alone. But this time, the village did not look at her with fear. They looked at her with respect and regret, because they had judged her without understanding her. Not everything that looks strange is dangerous. Sometimes, the people you fear the most are the ones protecting you the most. The end.